Sports Break. You can catch me here every Thursday talking junk and spitting facts. We're going to start a little bit backwards this week, guys, because usually I end with the NBA because I was excited about it. And now, since the Lakers are up 3-1 with an unhealthy Miami Heat team, let's just go ahead and get this out the way. So, Tuesday night, the Heat won Game 4, putting them up 3-1 in this series with a 6-point victory over the Miami Heat, who, like I mentioned, not completely healthy. We did get Bam Adebayo back. However, Dragic yet to return. Still unforeseeable if he actually will return. Here's my problem with this. The Lakers are still not completely gelled enough. We have LeBron and we have AD, right? That's about as consistent as we get. They have, if you go in this grand scheme of big three or like your three boss players, however you want to spin that third body constantly changes, which can be good in a sense of you have what can be a deep bench, explained as a deep bench, if you will. However, it's just not consistent. And because the Lakers basically blew the salary cap on LeBron and AD, not 100% sure how you build up that team around two players when you may or may not have the salary cap to continue to bring in more consistency. Now, change isn't always bad. However, if, let's just say Caruso, as just an example, if he goes out and then Pope goes out, who do we have? You know, because they seem to be the two that are kind of interchangeable at this point. Not 100% sure how deep it actually goes. And then, like I said, how do you build up a team where you have your five consistents, not just your starters, but you have those five players continuing to go down. It's just, it doesn't quite do it for me. It's been a short season. It's been a weird season. I don't know how much I appreciate a victory against a non-healthy team, because let's just be real. Tyler Hero, be letting that thing go. He's still doing what he needs to do. Jimmy and the mustache, he's maintaining. But we don't have this team that came into the bubble and throughout the playoffs. And I just believe in my heart of hearts that the Miami Heat, not completely healthy, have the wherewithal to come back down, to come back down 2 games and then turn around and win. I could be wrong. I've said things that turned out to be wrong on this show before, but I don't quite think that they're there yet. Bam looked good, but he did not bring it the way that we've seen him in just the last series. He's not 100%. He's well enough to be out on the floor, but it's not quite the same. Not quite the same. Now, we will see on Friday, Game 5. There's been a little bit of a break. Lakers have time to rest, but so do the Heat. Maybe Dragic comes back. Maybe they come up with a strategy that not takes out LeBron and AD, but kind of brings that down. They're playing good basketball, though. I just can't say it's team basketball, and sometimes that doesn't matter. But that remains to be seen, and we'll see what happens on Friday. Now, moving on to football. Guys, I don't know how much more football we're going to get. So, as of Wednesday, the Tennessee Titans are up to 22 positive coronavirus cases. 22. I don't know about you, but it's 22. Now, they have closed their team facility because duh, right? And what did they do? Some of them, they went to a local Tennessee school and practice. Now, all reports did not say which exact players went. I would assume, obviously, of course, that these are all players that have tested negatively, at least at some point. But that doesn't really mean you don't have it, right? False negatives are a thing. Sometimes the symptoms or the virus itself does not show up in the test until 5 and 14 days, or between 5 and 14 days. So just because it says you don't have it today doesn't mean you're not going to have it tomorrow. And furthermore, the NFL has said, and the organization too, that these players cannot be together. Y'all need to be apart. Social distance. So it's a big thing that they were out at this local school, which I'm not sure that Tennessee is having in-person learning, but like, your facility is closed because it's dirty, quote unquote, and like a third of your team has coronavirus. So they want you guys to stay apart just in case one of you may have it too, and we don't keep upping the cases. 22 cases since September the 24th. That's like not even 3 weeks ago. And it just continuously rises and rises. You've already had to postpone a game, your week 4 game. Now it's looking like we're going to have to postpone your week 5 game. How much more season do you want to miss, bro? How much? How much? Because this is ridiculous. Now we also have 3 New England Patriots, including Cam Newton, which was a super letdown because I wanted to watch the Patriots and the Chiefs. They moved it to Monday, which was also stupid. And then the NFL did not handle this properly. Is it hard to bubble an entire football team? Sure it is. Is it hard to watch grown men and make sure that they don't do anything, basically? Sure it is. Did you have to have fans in those stadiums? Nope. Could you have had some sort of something in place so that these men are not gallivanting all over? Absolutely. But did you do any of that? No. And here we are, week 5, with 3 games potentially in jeopardy, if not more, because this is a developing story. All y'all had to do was stay apart. That is it. Social distance. And what do you do at the beginning of the season? Say, let's expand the practice roster. Why would you do that? Why? Greater than, less than. I have a 5-year-old learning that. Greater than, expand the practice team. That means more. Social distancing means less. Why would you add to the practice squad? Why? Don't worry, I'll wait. This doesn't make any sense. Even some of the NCAA teams had the wherewithal and the common sense to push back their seasons. I mean, the Mid-Atlantic Conference, they don't even kick off until November the 4th. Georgia Southern and App State have decided, hey, we're not going to play on the 14th. We're actually going to wait until December. And then it still could get pushed back because you guys, and it's not just the NFL, it's just like people in general, you know. Y'all don't wear masks, y'all don't wash your hands, y'all don't social distance, and here we are in October, and we still sitting in the house. And let me tell you something, I'm gonna be 30 next year, and if we still sit in the house and I cannot celebrate my 30th birthday in the proper way, somebody's gonna have to hear about it, because this is ridiculous. Ridiculous. You know, the NFL has known since March that the coronavirus is a thing. And here we are in October, and not only are y'all not taking the proper precautions, letting fans into the stadium, now you have one team with over 20 cases. One. Over 20 cases, and probably growing. Because again, coronavirus may not show until 5 to 14 days. Doesn't make any sense. And now with this Cam Newton discovery, they have opted to test the players every day, including game day, which was something that they were leaving out the first 4 weeks of the season. However, again, you can get a false positive, and because they are using a much more rapid testing, it could prove to be inaccurate because of how quickly the results are being kicked back same day. So just because that player on Sunday, Monday night, Thursday, it says negative, they could turn around 2-3-ish days later and be positive. And now you have been around your teammates, you have been around the other team, and the cases are just going to grow and grow and grow, which is why they say wear your mask, social distance. I said it weeks ago, before the season even started, that it was irresponsible to not have some sort of bubble-like concept to let fans in the stadium really to flat out be playing. I mean, football is a contact sport. We don't know how much these men are huffing. Well, I mean, we know how much they huffing and puffing, but like, you don't know, spit, people, you touching, just germs, just yuck. I don't like to be touched anyway, so this is just, it's too much. My man Tony Kornheiser seems to believe that we are going to get a shortened NFL season, and possibly a Super Bowl like in the spring. At this point, I'm actually just surprised we made it all the way to week 5, well, week 4-ish, before we started seeing more cases, because when I saw those people at that Chiefs game, and the lack, when they were doing their little unity situation, no helmets, but no masks either, like, I'm like, this is all bad. This is all bad. So we shall see. It is a developing story. The Bills and Titans game has not been officially canceled, but my CBS Pick'em does not have that game listed, so I think CBS knows something that we don't know. So we will continue to monitor it. When I come back next week, we're going to have to see how many games were actually played and how many more were postponed. Before I get out of here, I do want to have, take a second to shout out the WNBA. They do not get enough recognition, and even I myself have to do a little bit better in this segment to talk more about the WNBA. So their season for this year is actually over because the Seattle Storm did sweep the Los Angeles Aces. Breanna Stewart was the unanimous MVP, 33-point margin in the finals, which is the largest margin in WNBA finals history. But the one person I want to talk about is Sue Bird. Now, first of all, I've been loving on Sue Bird since I was a chap, like a little chap. So got drafted number 1 pick in 2002, but since then, first of all, baby girl gonna be 40 next week. 40. She has 4 WNBA titles. She has 4 FIBA titles. She has 2 NCAA championships, and she has 4 gold medals. Give her her things. Give her her things. The WNBA as a whole, give them their things. I have this conversation probably like once a month with my husband. Just somebody over there is not doing their job. And if you guys need help, come get me, But the fact that these women are walking around here looking like NASCAR cars with all these advertisements and stickers all over their jersey and not getting paid enough, and God forbid they want to bring life into the world and then they have to give up all of this money. I get it, and to an extent I understand if you don't work you're not gonna get all your pay, but like, why should I be so majorly penalized for the fact that, first of all, I don't get paid as much as these NBA players or any man for that matter, and I do just as much work, if not more, playing in 2 leagues. Sue Bird plays in 2 leagues. Most of them play in 2 leagues. They get in basketball, they're out the wazoo. My husband seems to think because they love the game, it's okay, cool, that's fine, but that doesn't mean don't pay them. Pay them. It's just ridiculous. 2020 and we still trying to get equal pay for women. Just your marketing is not that great. I bet you so first of all, I bet you nobody knew. I didn't know the finals was the other day. I knew the playoffs was going on, but it's like, dang, it's over already. Like, if you go in the ESPN app, you do a little drop down for all the sports, it's like NBA, NFL, NCAA football, all the way down. Then you got to click other sports to even get to the WNBA. Why? I could talk about this for days, but I'm going to spare you guys the rant this time. But give Sue Bird her things. Give the WNBA their things. Go to WNBA games when you're allowed to go to games again. Watch women's sports. It's entertaining. You have these preconceived notions that it's not, it's fun, it's great, it's sports. Love it, watch it, support it, do what you gotta do, and pay these women. That is it, and that is all for me this week, guys. I will see you next week. You can catch me here every Thursday, talking junk, spitting facts, and I'll see you next week.